Hello everybody and welcome back to Simple Art for Adults. I'm Erin and I'm here to color. I'm doing a buddy color with a friend of mine in this Creative Haven book called Stunning Succulents, and she's done with her page, and that's all I've done. So I think I need to step on it just a little bit because I'm behind trying to fix my lighting over here. I didn't want to blind you earlier. So yeah, it looks like I've got some work to do. I have all my tools and junk over here, so I figured we'd just color and chat a little bit today. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's well, and I hope everybody's safe. I know that it's a little bit dicey out there these days. We're going to finish working on this succulent right over here. It's a little bit dicey out there. Everybody, there's a sickness out there going around, and man, it's just crazy. So I'm coloring these with the Castle Art colored pencils, and these are the colors I'm using. I've got Castle Green Light, Castle Green, Viridian, Purple Lake, and Mauve, and these are the colors I'm putting into this. I'm not able to blend it out the way that I really wanted to blend it out, but I'm trying not to be too upset by that. This paper is just weird. It's nowhere near as bad as the paper in the, what am I trying to say? The Create Space books from Amazon. It's not that bad, but it's just weird. And, yeah, so I'm not getting the blending that I want, unfortunately, no matter what I do. But I think it's still going to look okay. The other one that I did this way turned out all right. So I'm going to do it like this, and then I'm going to go put these colors in some of the rocks that are in these, like right in here. So I'm going to be doing that as well. I'm trying to fix this light so that the shadow is pointing in the opposite. There we go. That's a little bit better. I don't want you guys to see nothing but shadow, and I don't know why the shadow is in front of my hand. Let me turn this other light over here off. Maybe that's got something to do with it. Let's see if that helps anything. Not really. I don't know. I'm trying to work out the shadow situation. Normally I have my lights kind of in front of me so that any shadows that get cast are behind me. But for whatever reason, it seems that isn't working today. Move it up there a little, maybe. Is that better? Yeah, that's a little bit better. So I've already put a little base layer of the Castle Green Light down. Now I'm going in with Castle Green and putting that around kind of toward the bottom of each little leaf. Is that what it's called on a succulent? I don't even know. Well, it's been an interesting day for me so far. If you hear noise in the background right now, that's my washing machine, which is in the next room. We ordered Papa John's today because I wanted to color and I didn't feel like cooking dinner, and it's like 85 degrees outside and hot. And Papa John's just sounded good, so we decided we were just going to order pizza in, which is wonderful, and that's what we did. So instead of pizza, I got one of the new Papadias, and I don't know if you guys have had those, but if you like Papa John's pizza, you need to try one. They're like really, really good. It's basically like their version of a calzone. So anyway, I had a video on in my bedroom. I was watching Dia Lanahan color a frog in my bedroom. And so I grabbed my plate, a paper plate with the papadilla on it and a cup of the garlic sauce, and I came in here and sat down, and I put the plate on my lap, and I went to go take a bite. And when I picked the papadilla up off the plate, it went off balance and kind of tipped. So the garlic ended up in my lap and on my comforter. And so now it is in the washing machine. And I thought, well, you know what? That's not so bad. It'll be okay. It's not a big deal. We'll just wash the comforter. No harm, no foul. So then I sat down and got ready to start filming this video, and my nose wouldn't stop running because I also ate jalapeno poppers and my face was on fire. And you know how like when you eat something really spicy, your face, it hurts and your face is burning and it makes your nose run? Yeah, that's pretty much what was happening to me. I was sad. So this is take 2. I started recording a little while ago, and unfortunately it did not work. I was too sniffly. But now I'm better. So we're gonna color. I think I'm going to have to simplify the rest of these succulents or I may never get this done. This is like the third day now working on this, and I'm just, you know, I put so much detail into it that it's going to take me 12 years to finish it. I don't see how people color so fast. What's your all's tricks? You guys have to have some kind of coloring secret. I got this brush today from Mr. Pen. I ordered it on Amazon. It came in a little kit with an eraser and stuff. So, and it had a little mustache sticker like that. I'll put a link in the description box and you guys can check that out. It was pretty affordable. I think it was like $7 and something. It wasn't much. I'm sorry for the noise. My kids are in the kitchen now, and that's in the other room. They're in there messing around, making noise, because that's what they like to do. Alright, so let me put some, I've got to put some in a few other places. And this is just like rudimentary layers here. I realize that this looks messy. We're in the ugly phase. It'll be okay. There we go. Alright, so now we're going to go in with Viridian. And this is going to go even further down toward the bottom. Just to kind of act like some shadow. And what I've been doing is going up and around, just because if the light source is in the front, like if the light's shining straight down like this, then it's going to cast a little bit of a shadow behind it, just a little bit, not too noticeable. So I've been putting some of the Viridian there and then coming back in with black and doing a really light layer of black. And then back in with the lighter colors to go over everything and kind of blend it out, make it a little bit less noticeable. So like right here, because that leaf is tucked on top of that one, and then right here. So you just kind of have to look at the picture. I know it's something a lot of people kind of struggle with. You just really have to kind of look at the picture and think about, all right, where is the light in this room or in this setting? And most of the time, the easiest way to do that is to think of the light like, okay, here's my mouse, right? Here's my mouse. This is the light. It's up here in the very, very front, in the very center, and it's shining directly on everything. You guys can't see that. Let me move things. I mean, I'm going to zoom out just a little bit too, because this is the easiest way I can think of to explain this. Okay. So here's our room. Think of this like a room. This is our setting, okay? And the light can be anywhere. You can have the light coming from up here and shining down. Have the light coming from up here and shining down, from down here, just anywhere. You just pick a place. Where is the light? Well, because there's not an obvious light source in this, we get to kind of decide where we're going to put it. Where do we want to see it? So in my case, if my mouse is the light, it's up here. So all the light's coming out and shining down on everything pretty much equally. So if that's the case, if there's a leaf behind another leaf tucked back in there, there's going to be a little bit of a shadow on it. So that's why I'm doing the way that I'm doing. And if you look at this one, let me zoom you in, you can see what I've done here. And this is like a little bit dramatic because this got dark on me. But you can see where I've got like little dark places back in behind where leaves are over top of each other. And that's why I've done that. And it gives it some extra contrast, I think. There, oh, going the wrong way. It gives it some extra contrast. And it makes it look, I think it makes it look nicer. And for me, that's what I prefer to do. There is no right or wrong. There's no right way to color. There's no wrong way to color. It's all about what you like and what appeals to you. And if you see something that you like, that does appeal to you, there is a way to achieve it. You just have to practice. I share a lot of my pictures that I color on my personal Facebook page where, you know, my in real life friends and family see them. And they're like, how do you do that? Just practice. You just observe things in the world around you. And you watch what other people do. I spend a lot of my time watching what other people do and asking them questions about how they made something the way they made it and how they got it to look the way they did. There's no shame in that. None whatsoever. That's how we learn. You're never going to learn anything if you're not going to question it. I mean, if you don't care. Your pictures when you're finished. If straight coloring, no shading, no shadows, no anything, if that makes you happy, then you go for it. more power to you. But for me, I think the fun part of coloring is trying to master where are the lights, what's going to be in shadow, what's not going to be in shadow, that sort of thing. And it's fun for me, and it relaxes me to think about it. An image like this, like that. So, just to put it into perspective, I'm going to take my black pencil now. Now, I've got 3 layers of color down here. I've got 3 greens all on top of each other down here. So, that means my black isn't going to go on too harshly as long as I'm careful with it. So, I just take it and very, very gently go over these places where one is behind the other. And that's all I do. And yeah, because we have that black in there, it's going to contrast with the lighter green. Once I get that back in there, you're going to see all that contrast. And that's what's going to make it really pop. You have to, I remember when I first started doing this, I was so terrified of making things too dark because I thought it was wrong. I didn't want to make anything dark. It's supposed to be bright and happy and cheerful. But it's like when you bake chocolate chip cookies. And in any chocolate chip cookie recipe that you're going to find, it asks you to put salt in the cookie recipe. And at first that may seem a little counterintuitive. Chocolate chip cookies are supposed to be sweet, not salty, right? Well, that's very true, but adding that little tiny bit of salt helps your taste buds recognize the sweet in the sugar in the cookies. And when you go in and you add in your coloring page, even though you want it to look bright, if you can go in and add a little bit of dark in just the right spots, that helps your eye recognize the bright in the page. So I'm going to put a little bit of Viridian where these leaves are like curling around. Because if this part of the leaf is like folded over this part, so like it folds over like this, then I need to create the illusion that there's a curve. And that this part is behind that part. So that is what I'm going to do. And I take my Viridian and I kind of go back over where I've put the black because I don't want it to look black. I want it to look like a nice deep greenish gray. Because in real life, if it was a shadow there, that's what color it would be. It would be more than likely a greenish gray. Alright, so I'm just going to keep going like this. I didn't intend for this to really be a tutorial, but I had a couple people ask me about this, like how do you know where to put your darker colors and where to put your lighter colors? And it's just something that you've got to observe and practice. If it's something that you want to learn how to do, you just have to observe and practice. If you have to, go get a flashlight or a desk lamp that you can like move around, and then find an object and try putting that light in different places. Leave the object stationary, but move that light around so that you can see how that object reacts to the light and how the shadow behind the object or to the side of the object reacts to that light. That's another really good way to learn. So like in my case, I could go get my succulents out of the other room and shine a light in front of them and see what happens. And mine don't look enough like these, I don't think, to make much of a difference, but nevertheless. And I just come back in with Viridian and darken it up a little bit more. There we go. That's pretty much all there is to it. And it is time consuming, which is why I don't think I'm going to end up coloring the rest of these quite so detailed, because it is taking me forever to finish this page because I keep doing it. But because the other one, I've got this one and I have another one like this that I'm going to have to do this way. I want them to all be cohesive, at least. I'll just make the other succulents on the page a little simpler. I'm going to toss in some pink in some of them. And I think I'm going to do all the pots, various like shades of reds and browns. Reddish browns too. Because I don't know, I just like that idea. And I may get some gelatos out and just kind of paint the background on. really lightly. I don't want a whole lot of background, because this is a pretty busy picture the way it is. And that's all I'm doing, guys. I'm swapping back and forth between the Viridian's pretty dark, but I'm swapping back and forth between it and the black. And just adding in my darkest dark areas. And then when we come back with our lighter color, which is going to be, in this case, the Castle Green, I can go back over all of that. And it's not going to take away the shadow. The shadow is going to stay there. But it's going to make it look, I don't know, more 3D, I suppose. Like an actual succulent leaf. And now I've got Castle Green Light, and I'm kind of putting that across the center. And then I'm going to take my Purple Lake, and I'm going to bring it across the very, very tippy top. I'm going to bring it down just a little bit. Now the purple and the green doesn't blend together very well, but they don't, I tested it on another piece of paper, and they don't make like a nasty looking brown either. So that's why I went ahead and went for it. So now I'm mixing in the mauve into the Purple Lake, and I'm bringing it down into that Castle Green Light as well. And then to finish it out, I'll take Castle Green Light and I'll go back over the mauve. And it just kind of sort of makes the purple and green fade in together. But I'll take that Purple Lake once more and make this line up at the tip much, much brighter. So that is my finished succulent leaf. And I'm just going to keep going because that's how I've been doing this whole page. So far, so good. I think so anyway. It doesn't look terrible, so I'll just keep going with it. So Castle Green Light. Anyway, if this paper were a little bit better, I'd probably do a little bit better with this. But unfortunately, the paper is just, it's weird. When you feel it, you think that it should be pretty good. But then you go to put pencils on it, and it's like, no matter what you do, you can't fill the tooth. It's just strange. And I got my gamsol marker out, so I've been trying to make that work. But it doesn't seem like even gamsol will do anything to this stuff, even when I've got 100 layers of color down. For those of you who haven't seen this yet, here's what I've got. I have an empty Copic marker that I bought on Amazon. And you can buy them empty. They're like $6. And then I took a dropper and I took some gamsol, odorless mineral spirits, and I filled the marker. And the way you do it is you open up the chisel nib part. This is a Copic sketch. They're cheaper. You get the Copic sketch and you pull the chisel nib and it pulls right out. And so does the brush end, but it's easier with the chisel nib, I think. You just pull it out. And you take a dropper and you drop your odorless mineral spirits down in there, and then you put the chisel nib back in. And what I do is I then turn around and dip both nibs into the odorless mineral spirits so that it's nice and wet and it gets the stuff flowing around in there. Now I've had people tell me, oh my gosh, that's dangerous. Well, I mean, I've had this exact same marker for 3 years, and I've never changed the nib. It's pretty stained, but it's not broken down or anything. It's okay for me, and basically I think it's safer than the alternatives because I don't have to open up a jar of odorless mineral spirits every time I want to blend something out like this. I just pop the top off my marker, put it on the paper, put the top back on, and now I'm done. So I like it. It works really well for me, and I know that there are some other people out there who've tried it and they like it. It wasn't my idea. It was given to me by Laura, and Laura saw it on somebody else's YouTube channel. I can't remember who she said it was now. But I'm not saying it's not my idea. It's not an original idea by any means, but I am saying that it works for me. And I like how it works for me. So, yeah. If you don't want to put odorless mineral spirits and a Copic marker because you know, it makes you nervous, and by all means don't. I don't want anybody to do anything that's going to make them feel nervous or anything like that. But in my experience, I've had mine, that very same marker with the very same nibs. I've had it for 3 years and they have not deteriorated, and it has not leaked, and it has done me a really good job. So if you are interested in it, it's worth a shot. And I also ordered, and I'm not gonna talk much about it until I get it. And when I get it, I'll show it to you. But I ordered odorless mineral spirits in like a bingo dauber container from this company on the internet. And I'm like so excited to get it. Because basically, I don't know if you've ever seen a bingo, like a bingo marker. But it's basically got like a spongy dauber on the top. So that when you flip it upside down, you daub your paper and it leaves a circle or a shape or, you know, whatever. Well, this has that on the top of it too, except you take like a blending stump or a tortillon or, you know, what, a paintbrush or whatever it is you use, and you dip it down on top of that foamy dauber. And so the point of that is that you can't spill it. If you knock your bottle over, the dauber keeps it from spilling. You can turn it upside down, shake it, do whatever you want to, and it's not going to come out. So I'm pretty interested. It was like almost $8 or I think it was a little bit more than that because there was shipping attached to it. Maybe 11 altogether, $11, and it's only for 2 ounces, but I don't know if it's refillable or not. If it's refillable, then I'm sure that little dauber will probably last through several fill-ups. I would like to think so anyway, but we're going to find out. I'm going to put it through the test, and we're going to see what happens. I don't remember the name of the company offhand either. It's Inky something or another, I want to say, when it gets here, and I'll keep the packing slip so I can tell you for sure who it is. But I was intrigued when I saw it, and so yeah, I'm excited to give it a shot and see what happens. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead in with my purple now. I'm just going to take it right over that darker green. That is going to be shadow there after all, and if you mix purple and green, you're going to get like a brown, like a muddy brown. But if it turns into a muddy brown in the shadow, then that's okay, because there's black in there I can cover it with. Aha! I like these. I think they're cute. And I don't know why. I mean, I just messaged Meredith out of the blue and asked her if she wanted to color succulents in buddy color, because I was itching to color some succulents. Darn it. Oh, wait. That's the wrong... Nope, that's the right green. Okay. Yep. So we're coloring the succulents page. Hers is done. Mine is not. I feel kind of guilty. I'm going to work on it some more tonight, though. I don't know if any of you guys are Pokemon Go players, but I am. So it's 85 degrees outside here today, and I want to go outside and catch Pokemon so bad, but it's just hot. And I don't want to go outside and end up miserable. So I'm waiting a little bit for the sun to go down, and then I'm going to go outside and catch Pokemon. And then when I'm done catching Pokemon, then I'm going to come back and color on this some more. And I've got to record the next part of the sloth coloring thingy that I'm doing. So that's also on my agenda for tonight. Yes, yes. I have some work to do tomorrow morning, so I've got to get up early, so I can't stay up too terribly late, but I still plan to get it done. Alright, where's Viridian? I know it's one of these. There it is. Same thing here as with that other leaf. It's got this part that like curls. There we go. That looks better. Yeah, I'm going to take the light color and we're just going to go over that whole thingy there. This is going to be mostly dark back here because the whole thing is pretty much hidden. There we go. And then I'll go over with Viridian. Really, guys, this just takes practice, and I know so many people are always asking, and I'm still not even that good at it. It takes me some time, and I don't always do it right, and I do make mistakes, and I put shadows in the wrong places where they're not supposed to be. But at the end of the day, you know, the way I think of it anyway is if your values are right, if you have the right contrast between dark and light in your picture, nobody's really going to notice too much if you don't have a shadow in the exact right place. Somebody who's like an art major might, but somebody like me, I'm not going to notice. So, you know, just play with it. Have you guys had this? This Dr. Pepper and cream soda? Holy cow, this stuff is so good. I really got to be in the mood for a cream soda because it tastes like liquid sugar. I like Dr. Pepper though. But, so I got one of the original Dr. Pepper, not the non-diet traditional variety. And it was good and I liked it. But I thought, man, I would just drink way too many of those. So, I got myself a 12-pack of the diet ones and I've been enjoying them. I really like them. I saw an article where there's going to be birthday cake flavored Dr. Pepper. Has anybody seen that yet? Because I like me some Dr. Pepper and I'm going to need to try this birthday cake stuff. So if I can't get it and you can, I may PayPal you some cash to have you send me some birthday cake flavored Dr. Pepper because I really need to try this. Alright, so now the dark purple. Yeah, see, so this is why it takes me so long to color. I got like 100 different colors in 100 different places and 65 layers in a 1 square inch radius. Excuse me. But it's fun and it's relaxing, and I like sitting in bed with my little table that was a gift from Melissa. I like to just sit in my bed with that little table and color and relax, and it's just the most wonderful thing. Because I get in a zone, like where I do the first few. If I do the first few leaves like this, I have to really sit and think about it and keep focused on it, or I'll throw my pencil at myself. Forget what I'm even doing and put the wrong color in the wrong spot. But once I do a few of them this way, then it kind of starts to come second nature. Then I can just pretty much zone out and do it. So, and I've still got a whole other one I need to do this way. I don't know what some of these are, honestly. I've got little bits of, I hope that's not nail polish across that. I think it is. I think I accidentally swiped my nail polish across this. Hopefully I'll be able to cover it up. You guys ever do that? Like you have, I have your nails painted like a red color, and you go to swipe and some of your nail polish rubs off on the paper. It's not very dark, so hopefully it's not too noticeable. That was pencil. Oh, you guys, let me show you this too. I got this little guy today in the mail because I was getting real sick and tired of changing the batteries in my other one. This is an AFMAT battery powered eraser. Except this one, you don't have to put batteries in. You stick it in a USB and wait until the little blue light goes off. And then you have power. And the best part is, okay, let me show you this. Okay, so the ones in like the Derwent erasers are like this size. I keep this one handy too. So this is the one that you would like normally see in a Derwent eraser. It's kind of like this, okay? Well, this guy has erasers the same size as the Tombow Mono Zero, like that. And it comes with extra attachments and a crap ton of extra erasers. Look how tiny that is compared to the one that you would get like in the Derwent or the Ohuhu. And this was like $17, I think. But I don't have to keep taking the batteries out, and I'm just thrilled. So I'm going to link to this downstairs in the description box. Y'all should check this out. And there's all kinds of different ones. I think there's one where like if you pay a couple bucks more, you get a whole bunch more refills. But I still had a whole bunch of the original Ohuhu ones left from like 3 years ago, so I didn't need a lot of refills. But I'm excited about it. I like this thing. It's really nice, and it's so light. The battery that they have in here, it's like half the weight of the 2 AAAs I had to put in the Ohuhu, or the 1 AAA. I don't know. It just doesn't, and it's so quiet. It's quiet. It doesn't make my whole hand vibrate. It's just better. It's better than that one was in every single way. And my daughter now has the Ohuhu one. She didn't have one at all. She wasn't even aware that she needed one until I gave her that one, and she's like, yeah, that's nice. So she got the Ohuhu one and all the extra erasers that I had for it. Of course, I did tell her that there are better options, but just, you know, that I wasn't going to be using that one anymore, and she was welcome to it if she wanted it. But she's all about it. We got some sketchbooks that I ordered on Amazon from Arteza, and they're nice sketchbooks. I showed those off in my like mini haul video that I did. They're nice, big, thick sketchbooks, and I like to I haven't sketched in it yet. I've been sketching on my Strathmore colored pencil paper and my Strathmore toned gray paper. Or is it toned tan? Which one do I have? This one's the toned tan. And I can't draw very well, so I'm not showing you what I drew. But I drew a slice of cake. A purple slice of cake, because I used a purple Colorase pencil to do. I decided if I'm going to start drawing, I think what I want to learn how to draw is plants and food. And I don't know why. I don't mind coloring food, but I don't get as much joy from coloring it. Or, yeah, I don't get as much joy from coloring food as I do coloring plants. But I do get some joy coloring or drawing food. I can't talk today. Oh my God. It's just bad. So I think I'm going to start looking for some reference pictures on like Pixabay and such for food. And then, you know, maybe at night when I'm winding down, just try a quick sketch just once a day. Because that's the whole thing. I don't know how to draw. I'm not very good at drawing, but I'm not going to get better at it if I don't try. So whether I think I'm good at it or not, I'm going to fill this sketchbook up full of terrible food drawings. So how many of you have tried the Strathmore colored pencil paper? And how many of you like it? And how many of you hate it? Because it seems to be a point of contention among colored pencil enthusiasts. Some of them say that it's brilliant paper and they absolutely love it. And some of them absolutely cannot stand it. So I don't have an opinion yet. For me, it's a little hard to fill the tooth. That's where I'm at, and I don't like that. But at the same time, even though it's a little hard to fill the tooth, it's toothy enough that you get quite a bunch of layers. And it's really, really easy to blend things out on that paper. So, I don't know. I guess maybe depending on someone's art style, they may or may not like it. If you hear that noise going on in the background, that is my washing machine with my garlic butter covered comforter. Oh man. I hope nobody comes here thinking that this is going to be some awesome tutorial about how to color succulents. I'm over here like going on and on and on about how terrible my day was today because I spilled garlic butter all over myself. Oh gosh, I miss making these kinds of videos. These were always my favorite, and I'm so glad, so glad I get to do it again. This makes me so happy. You guys always chime in and tell me your stories that are similar, and it just makes me giggle and laugh, and I love every second of it. Alright, let me put a little bit more black down in here. Just in a couple little spots though, because I don't want it to be overpowering. Did I miss anywhere? This needs to be a little bit darker again now too, but just down in this little crevice. And same up here. I think I might have gamsoled too much of it away. That's weird though, because I didn't think it was doing anything. I'm going to try that again. I guess it is. I guess it is pulling that black out. Huh. Interesting. Let me get some paper towel. Or as my friends across the pond say, kitchen roll. I want to start calling it kitchen roll. It sounds better than paper towel. And when you're done, when you have your little gamsol marker and you're done using it, it's going to be stained. But you just take a piece of scrap paper or some kitchen roll and you just go over it. You just scribble on it like you would an alcohol marker until you don't have any more color coming off. And sometimes it takes a little bit. With Prismacolors in this thing, it takes more than a little bit. Oh, look, I got some through the paper. It'll be okay. It'll dry. All right, where were we? Oh, yeah, I was over here. Putting purple in. Trying to shorten the process and going in with the heavy pressure right off the start from the purple because there's no real reason for me to put a light layer here. This is the only color that's going to be in this spot, really. So, I might as well just go ahead and go whole hog. Going ham with the purple. Okay, now Viridian down here in the crevices where one leaf is tucked behind the other. And it's probably not even a leaf, and I've been calling it leaf this whole entire time. And people all across the world, on the internet, the almost 19,000 subscribers to my channel, they're all laughing at me right now. But that's okay, I laugh at me too, so you guys just go ahead and laugh. But please correct me and tell me what they're really called. Okay. There we go. Now then, Castle Green. And then finally, Castle Green Light. And I just like how these mix together. It reminds me a lot of Prismacolor, the way they blend and mix. But they're not, they're waxy, but they're not waxy in the same way as a Prismacolor. So it's weird. It's hard to explain. It's like the strangest thing. I'm going to go back over because some of this green isn't as bright as I would like. So if I put another layer on, it'll brighten it up some. There we go. Yep, that's better. And then down in here where all these leaves are piled up on top of each other, I need it to be a little darker in there. Alright guys, I'm going to take a break for just a few minutes and go grab another drink because that was the end of my cream soda Dr. Pepper. But I'll be right back with you, I promise. Alright everybody, I am back. It was like 10 minutes for me, but a couple seconds if even that for you. So, hooray for video editing. I'm not very good at video editing, but I am working on getting better at it. Slowly but surely, like anything else. Maybe someday. We'll see. So it is 6:15 p.m. on Thursday. And I'm waiting for the sun to go down just a little bit more before I go out and see what kind of Pokemon I can capture. I'm still hunting down a shiny Dunsparce. I haven't seen one, and I swear I have clicked on like 100 of them. Well, probably more like 300 of them. And I still haven't found one. So I'm really starting to think maybe they just don't exist in my account. Oh, that's the wrong green. Maybe they just don't exist in my account. Maybe that's the problem. I don't know. And I know that those of you who don't play Pokemon are like lost right now, but those of you who do, if you found a Dunsparce since this event started, let me know. I'm curious. Does shiny dunsparce really even exist? Because I don't think it does. There we go. That is better. Alright, now we're going to go back over with the castle green just a little bit so those edges aren't quite so harsh. I want them to be a little harsh right there, but... Alright, now I'm going to go with a really, really, really thin application of the black. A little heavier down in here though, because it's going to be, there's all kinds of stuff down here, so it's going to be a little more shadowy down there. Right, then one more time with Viridian so that the black doesn't look quite so black. There we go. And now back with the grass green, castle green, and then now with a light green, which is the light castle green. I'm just going to pull that up to roughly about there. And then I'll take my mauve and blend it down into that. And now I need my dark purple again. There we go. I'm just so picky. I think that's why it takes me so long to color anything, because I'm just too picky about it. These pencils are fun though. I do like them. I like them quite a bit, actually. I haven't gotten my old castle art ones before the names were added. I have a full set of those too, but I haven't gotten them back out and compared them. Has anybody noticed a difference between the two? I have some of them here with me, but I haven't used them yet. I pulled out some of the colors that I use a lot, like the cream colors and the real pale yellow and the white. So these are out of the old set. And these ones are not, clearly. These are from the new set. So, I don't know. I haven't been able to tell much of a difference in the way they like lay down or anything. But it may be there and I just haven't noticed. They're all nice and smooth and they just go down really easy. That needs to be blended out a little bit more. There we go. Alright, this one's going to be a little bit different because it's up so high, so I'm just going to take the castle green instead of Viridian. We're going to bring the castle green up a little higher because when I go over it with the purple that's going to be there, it should... Actually, let's do that first. It should make it a little brown-ish. Well, maybe not. That's alright. We'll fix it. What color do I want now? The Viridian? I guess we'll put a little in there. Just kind of try to get around those leaves. Yeah, that's better. And then maybe a tiny, 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 tiny bit of black. Just down in the little dips. Just like that. And then we'll go back over with the light castle green again. Pull it all up. And then I'm going to put the dark purple in now before I get too many layers on the page and I can't get it on there the way I want it. And then I'll take mauve and blend it all together right there. Yeah, that's okay. That's not too bad. So I'm just going to kind of work around this little avocado blossom, or well, not avocado, it looks like an artichoke. I'm going to work around that for right now, and I'll come back to it. roommate's in there waiting for me to go play Pokemon because he's wanting to go play Pokemon too. So he's waiting for me so he doesn't have to go by himself, which I don't blame him. It's much more fun going with somebody else. Who else are you going to show your shinies to when you get them? If you stand there on the sidewalk and like shout hooray because you caught a shiny Dunsparce, people are just going to look at you like you're a lunatic. Unless you're actually talking to another person. And sometimes even then they still look at you like you're a lunatic. Ask me how I know. Yeah, so I didn't have time in my life anymore for, you know, like WoW or anything like that. So I decided to take up Pokemon. And I'm seriously thinking about buying Final Fantasy VII Remastered, but my son has my PlayStation right now, so I don't know if that's going to happen. I'll just have to see what happens. I don't know if... I mean, I don't want to buy it and then not have the time to play it. Because right now I'm in a space where I'd rather just be coloring anyway, so I'm having way too much fun with my coloring book. I need to go back in that with a little bit more mauve. There we go. It just didn't look right to me. Alright, so now Viridian. And then black. And then Castle Green. And then light Castle Green. And then I may need to bring in a little, yeah, I'm going to bring in a little bit more of the mauve. Like I said, these colors don't exactly blend together, but they do kind of make this nice little sort of transitional color. It's like yellowy brown almost. It's different, but it does the job, and I like it, so. Okay. I am going to go in here with this mauve now and try to finish this little leaf. Okay, Viridian. This one's going to be kind of tricky. A lot of little bits to work around. And I'm trying to hold my book still and move the angle of my hand, which I'm getting better at doing that. I really, really am. I'm getting better at leaving my book still and turning my body and my hand to get the right angle. So I don't really feel uncomfortable or anything by leaving my book held still. But honestly, if I was by myself, I would be turning this book around like a mad woman. I just know that when I'm watching, when I watch a video, and I don't mind it when other YouTubers, when they turn their paper, that's fine, but sometimes when they do it too fast, like when they're turning it left and right and crazy, sometimes it really does make me feel a little seasick. So I take that as my warning to not do that anymore and to avoid turning my book, because I'm not even that sensitive to it. So I know that there must be some of you who are. And no, I'm not knocking those YouTubers, guys. I didn't mean for it to come out like that. Everybody does their own thing differently. Everybody does. And there's no right or wrong way. There's no right or wrong way to make a YouTube video either, as far as I'm concerned. Do your own thing. This is the Viridian again. I'm just trying to make it not so harsh right there. And then Castle Green light. Bring it all together. So I guess, can you guys see where it's darker around the flower, like where it looks like it's got a little bit of a cast shadow behind it? That's what I'm trying to accomplish. I don't know if it's working so well in this situation. I don't want it to look like I've done nothing but outlined things. And I'm afraid that may be what it's looking like at this point because there's so many little details. And I brought the Viridian up way too high right there, but that's okay. That's a little bitty Dumaflagi. So I didn't have a lot of room. We'll just add the dark purple and call that one a day. Go ahead and put my dark purple in a couple of these other places. Yeah, see, all this time I've been sitting here yapping, and I still haven't finished this one succulent. I made some serious progress on it, but I haven't finished it. I'm going to have the other one like this done before I go to bed tonight, if it's the last thing I ever do. And then I can, tomorrow, when it's time to work on it, I can start on some more of the pots and the rocks, because that's going to take a while. And I'm thinking about getting out my Staedtler fine liner set and doing those rocks with that. Because I can color them, you know, like just different shades of the same color, and then take a white gel pen and put like little bitty dots on them to kind of give them some dimension. And I don't think anybody will really ever notice that I didn't color it with pencil. And I don't think it matters, really, as long as it looks nice. Or as long as I have fun doing it, I guess. There we go. And then now mauve. I'm going to go in with the black down here. There we go. Yeah, I like that. I wish they would all look like that, because see how that black just kind of like fades out? It's not such a harsh line. I don't know why. I'm still struggling to make them do that now and then, no matter what I do. I'm working on it, and it looks like I'm getting better at it. So, progress. And that's all I can ask for is progress. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and take the Castle Green Light and fill this part right here in, because the one behind it is already so dark. Yeah, that'll work. So Purple Lake is the dark purple, and then mauve is the light purple that I'm using. And then the greens again are Viridian and Castle Green and light Castle Green, if anybody's curious about the color combo. I do write down every single one of my color combos in my little notebook, and I'll show you that here in just a few minutes, because I'm going to have to call it quits soon. People are waiting for me. But I'll still show it to you before I go. Oh, no, that's okay. Put the mauve in next. Bring that up. And then we'll do mauve right here. I'm going to take the gamsol one to that because I don't like the way it blended. And that's the thing about doing it this way too, is that if you don't like what you've done, the gamsol, especially on smoother paper, will lift some of the pigment, kind of like watercolor, and you can go back in there later and add, after it dries, and I can add more pigment the way that I want it. So, I mean, there's no 100% surefire way to get rid of colored pencil once it's on the paper. You can paint over it with white acrylic paint. You can erase some of it, but you can't get rid of it 100%. Gamsol on some papers will lift some of it for you so that you can add more and get a better blend. But not all the time. That just, I'm trying to figure out which papers will allow that and which papers won't. It's just some trial and error. This one does to an extent, just a little. I'm not a big fan of this paper. I think this is the first Creative Haven picture that I've ever really colored. And I'm not opposed to coloring in this book or, you know, other Creative Haven books, But I need to play with my pencils on another page and see what I think works best, because I don't... The polychromos were terrible. I did the red, like up here, I did that in polychromos, and I had to put so many layers that my hands were exhausted by the time I finished it. And I'm like, nope, we're not coloring anything else with polychromos in this book. The Castle Arts are much better in here. I think because they're softer and waxier, it just makes it easier to get the tooth of the paper full, I guess, if that makes any sense. Like, this has been a fun experience. I'm not minding using these pencils. The thing is, though, is I don't think they're blending to their full capacity on this paper. And I know that I'm not using light enough layers to really blend them to their full capacity either. But what I'm saying is that I've tried. And no matter how many layers I did or how I did it, I couldn't get them to blend out on this paper. So now I'm shortcutting so I get this done faster because I'm got so many colors going on. Alright, I'm going to finish this little one right here. And then I'm going to go strap some shoes on and go catch some Pokemon. And then I will finish this evening after my shower. And after my comforter, my garlic basted comforter smells better. I mean, I like the smell of garlic, don't get me wrong, I really do, but I don't want to smell garlic when I go to bed at night. It's a little excessive. I haven't sharpened these pencils this whole time either. Not one time. Not since I started. And some of them are probably, they're starting to get to the point where they're going to need it. But as long as I keep turning my pencil, I've always got a relatively sharp edge to work with, which is another reason why I'm such a big fan of these pencils. They're really pigmented for what they are. And they're not going to be they're not nearly as pigmented as like a Polychromos or a Prismacolor. And they're not nearly as soft as a Prismacolor. And they're not nearly as nice as a Polychromos. But for what they are, these and the Spearfarben pencils are like heads above so many other brands. And Arteza. Those three brands are just fantastic. And they're all different in their own ways. But they're like heads above a Prang or Crayola. They're several tens of dollars above that brand also. But, you know what I'm trying to say. For what they are, they're wonderful. Now we just need to get one of these companies to offer us some open stock. I'm telling you, if they would offer open stock pencils, one of those brands, Arteza, Spearfarben, or Castle Arts, if they had open stock pencils, I would use them all of the time. But I like them a lot the way it is, and it makes me nervous to use pencils when I know I can't replace them without buying another $50 or $60 or $80 set. And that's just bonkers to me. I can't justify it. And I don't want to be halfway through a picture and I run out of my Viridian, and the only way I can get it is to go back on Amazon and spend $50 on another entire set of 120 pencils just to get this one. And I know these companies do this with the best of intentions. You know, they want to bring us good supplies at a good price. But there are downfalls to doing things, I think, sometimes the way that they do. And that's one of them. In the long run, it is cheaper for me to color with my Polychromos. And even though Polychromos are $175, $180 for the set of 120, in the long run, it's cheaper because I don't have to turn around and buy a whole new set of pencils for one pencil. If Purple Lake is my favorite color, and I go through my Purple Lake right now doing this picture, and I turn around and order another set of these pencils on Amazon for another $50, I think is what they are for the 120. $47.99 I think is what I saw. And then they show up, and I get that Purple Lake, and I do another picture, and I use that one, Then I have to order another set of pencils for $47.99. Now at this point, I'm three sets of pencils deep over one pencil. I've spent $150, and I might as well have just bought the polychromos. And that's, I mean, that's just, I think it depends too on you and how serious you're taking your hobby. Because for a lot of people, you know, if they run out of one color, oh, stinking well, we'll just use a different one. And that's great. That's wonderful. But for some of us who take things a lot more seriously, and for me, because I do YouTube videos, and so when I need a supply, I need a supply. Or if I run out of a supply mid-video, that's no good. I mean, I need to be able to get my hands on the things that people want to see. And I'm not about to start doing a color along, really, in one of these brands of pencils, only to have 16 people message me and say, Erin, my brown's all gone, and I have to order another whole set of pencils. And see, I can't in good conscience do that to people. That's why I do a lot of my, when I do color alongs and stuff, or even now when I'm doing the sloths video, I do it the way that I'm doing it, because I know if somebody runs out of their brown, it's Prismacolor. They can go to Hobby Lobby and get another one, or they can go to Jerry's Artorama or Blick and order another one. Well, they can't right now, unfortunately. It seems that everybody's sold out of just about every Prismacolor in existence. Which is, I'm not going to lie, it's playing on my nerves that I can't order pencils. Normally, what I do, and if you guys want to steal this idea, go right ahead, because it's worked wonders for me for years. What I do when I run out of a pencil, I'll write it down on a Post-it note and put it next to me. And then when the Post-it note, you know, starts getting on my nerves, then I'll go to blick.com and I'll enter in all the pencils that are on the Post-it note, and I'll throw the Post-it note away. Okay, so when my Blick cart gets to whatever threshold, when they have a sale where they're doing free shipping at like whatever threshold, that's when I will order. Whether I really and truly need those pencils yet or not, I'll go ahead and order them. Now, as for Prismacolor, I keep a whole set of them. I have a whole brand new set that's on the very top shelf in my desk. And as I run out of a pencil, I will go and pull the one out of that set and then immediately reorder it and put it back in that set. So there is never a time with Prismacolors that I do not have a spare. That time is about to come for the very, very first time, because I can't get a hold of Prismacolor replacements right now because of I'm assuming that what's happened is that because of coronavirus, the pencil factories are closed. The workers aren't there making the pencils, and that's fine. I'm not upset with them. I don't want anybody to think that I'm complaining that people aren't, you know, risking their lives to make pencils so I can make YouTube videos, because that's not it at all. I'm just saying, I think that is what's happened, that the workers aren't in the factories to make them. And since nobody's entirely certain when everything is going to be safe enough for those people to return, it's making me very nervous with my pencils, because I start to panic a little. Call me privileged, you know. I don't know. That's just what I do, so I don't know. I've never lived in a world where I couldn't get a Prismacolor that I needed. I mean, I've lived in a world where I couldn't get it for like a few days. But I've never lived in a world where I went to blick.com to order the pencils that I needed, only to be told, we don't have this pencil and we don't know when it's coming back either. So, sorry about your luck. It's just nerve-wracking to not know, I think. And maybe it's just a manifestation of everything else, just not knowing what's going to happen in the world. And maybe it's really not over the pencils, and it's just, that's how it's manifesting with me. I don't know. I don't want to get all philosophical about it. I just know it makes me sad that I can't order my Prismacolors. But at the same time, I'm glad that those companies aren't trying to force their workers to come in and make pencils to make them money. Those of you who have local art stores that have a really good supply of those things should be very, very grateful right now. I don't have a local store I think my local Hobby Lobby sells, the only pencils that they sell open stock now are, I think they sell 48 Prismacolor colors open stock. And they sell all of the Goldfaber, regular and aquarelle colored pencils, and that's it. That's all they have. They used to have all the regular Prismacolors, but apparently people used to steal them, like a lot, so they had to cut back their display. And half the time they don't even have many of those anymore. They're always sold out, or they were. I haven't been to Hobby Lobby in, months. But when I was going, it seemed that they were always sold out of, the really popular colors like the cream and the stuff that you would use a bunch. That needs to be a little darker in there, so I'm going to make it a little bit darker. There we go. Alright, so now I need... Alright, that's already done. I need to use my light green. I'll pull Castle Green up a little bit more here. And I'm going to pull Mauve down a little bit more. And then we're going to meet in the middle with light Castle Green. Hooray, I did it all but the artichoke part. Yay! Artichoke part, not artichoke heart. Haha, how'd you like that dad joke? Alright guys, it's been really fun. I knew I was going to sit down and work on this for a little bit before I went out to do my Pokemon hunt for the evening. So I just figured I'd turn the camera on. It's already, I've got my tripod basically permanently mounted in here. So it's just a matter of sticking my phone up there and hitting record. I've even got it to where it charges my phone while I'm recording a video, which is pretty fantastic. So, yeah. But so this is where I'm at. This red here and this red here. This is all polychromos, and it's like, I did do this with real light layers, and it's like streaky. I don't know if you can see that, and I've never seen polychromos do that. So, it's got to be the paper. There is no other explanation. It's got to be this paper. It's just weird, and it felt like no matter how many layers I put down, even at the end when I was like trying to burnish, it just like it refused to burnish. There were like little strips left behind of paper. Like I'd color it down, but then it would push up a little hill of paper next to my pencil point, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? I just want to smooth this out. So anyway, this one and this one were done in this color, and I've got this down here that I have to use all these colors for too. And then I think I'm going to move off to a pea green and pink and cream for these curly Q looking ones here. And I don't know what I think this one is also one of these, just smaller. I can't, or maybe that. I don't know. I think this and this are different, and this and this and this is the same. I don't know. It doesn't matter, really. I'll color it one way or another. Alright, guys. I know that this kind of video isn't for everybody, but I know a lot of you really like it, and I like making them, so I'm going to keep making them. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, because it does help my channel grow, and the more my channel grows, the easier it is for me to come and make more videos like this. So please thumbs up if you had a good time here. If you're not subscribed, but you had a good time listening to me ramble and color, or if you did happen to learn something while I was coloring these succulents today, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you know when I have a new video. Come hang out with me, come color with me, answer the million questions I ask. School me in the description box, because I'm apparently brain dead today. Anyway, I'm gonna go catch Pokemon. I hope you guys all have a fantastic rest of your day. I hope you all have a really good weekend. And until next time, thank you for tuning in, and happy coloring.